I told my fiance I hated my engagement ring, and he showed me a video I wasn't ready for. I hate the ring my fiance proposed with, and I've been pretending I don't. Last month, he took me to the beach at sunset, put my favorite song on his phone, and got down on one knee. I said yes right away, smiling so hard my cheeks hurt. Then he opened the box. The ring was huge, thick gold band, 3 big green stones, and a whole swarm of tiny diamonds around them. It looked loud and old school, like something from the 80s. I'm 26, and I wear simple silver stuff, tiny stones if any, so my stomach flipped the second I saw it. But I hugged him and acted excited. After that, I started hiding my hand like I'd done something wrong. At night, I'd take the ring out, put it on for a minute, then pull it off because it didn't feel like me. At work, I kept the ring in my purse and told people I didn't want to scratch it. At the gym, I left it at home because it snagged on everything. My best friend asked for photos, and I sent one from far away so it looked smaller. 3 days after the proposal, my mom noticed my bare hand at dinner and said, "You're not wearing it." I lied and said it needed resizing. She gave me that look that meant she didn't buy it. Then my fiance started noticing too. One morning, as I grabbed my keys, he looked at my hand and asked, "Do you not like it?" My stomach dropped. I kissed him fast and said, "No, I love it. I just don't want anything to happen to it." I left before he could ask more, but the guilt followed me all day. Every time I saw the ring sitting in its box on my dresser, I felt angry at myself and sad for him at the same time. He'd planned this sweet proposal. He'd spent money, and I couldn't stand the thing on my finger. I tried to force it. I wore it to dinner with his parents, and his mom grabbed my hand like she was checking it. She said, "Oh my," in this flat voice I couldn't read. His dad stared for a second and just said, "That's something." I wanted to crawl under the table. A few days later, my sister called and asked to video chat so she could see it. I held up my hand and she went quiet. Then she said, "Wow, that is really gold." After a beat, she asked, "Are you okay?" And I just broke. I started crying and blurted out, "I hate it. It's so ugly, and I feel horrible, and I don't know how to tell him." My sister stayed calm and said, "You have to tell him. You're supposed to wear it for decades." That night, I decided I couldn't keep lying. He got home around 6:30. We made pasta together, and we talked about our day like normal. But the whole time, my chest felt tight and heavy, and I couldn't get a full breath. When we sat on the couch to watch TV, I muted it and said, "Babe, I need to talk to you." His face changed fast, like he already knew. I told him the proposal was perfect, and I loved him, but I needed to be honest about the ring. He didn't yell. He just looked at the floor, swallowed hard, and said quietly, "You hate it." I started crying and said it wasn't my style. It was too big, and I felt awful even saying it. He cut me off with one word: "Stop." He stood up and walked to our bedroom. I sat there, frozen, hearing drawers open and close, convinced I'd just wrecked our relationship. He came back less than a minute later with his phone in his hand. He sat next to me, opened his camera roll, and held it out. "Just watch," he said, voice shaking. It was a video from last October. His grandma was on screen, sitting up in a hospice bed, looking tired but smiling. I recognized the room from when we visited. She lifted the ring toward the camera. "This is for your future wife," she said, and my throat went tight. She told him she wore it for 60 years, and his grandpa saved for 2 years to buy it in 1962. She said back then it cost $300, and that was a fortune for them. She coughed, caught her breath, and said it wasn't trendy now, but it meant everything to her and his grandpa. Then she looked straight into the camera and said, "Promise me, you'll give it to the woman you marry." My fiance's voice came from behind the camera. "I promise, Grandma, I promise." She smiled and whispered, "Good boy," and the video ended. I stared at him, and he was crying. "She died the next day," he said. "That was the last real thing she asked me for." I couldn't break my word. The ring sat between us in its box, suddenly heavier than it looked. I picked it up with shaking fingers and slid it onto my hand. "I'm keeping it," I said, and we both cried on that couch.